Hello, and welcome to the Venue Coach Blueprint for Owners. I'm Kyle Labar. This podcast is all about helping you fill your wedding venue with more bookings, earn more from each one, and keep your customers happy for a long time. We'll also talk about some tough times and big lessons that I've learned along the way. Let's dive in together and make your venue the best spot for weddings. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Venue Coach. In today's episode, I want to talk about follow-ups, reach outs, and communication in general. I know I've talked about this in the past about how your communication is one of those first impressions that you leave on a client or a prospect. And I want to dive in a little bit more into what we do and how it has impacted our business. And really what that looks like is we set up automations on the initial outreach. So if somebody goes onto our website, they fill out a contact form, they fill out a form to download our brochure, and then or they fill out the form to come out for a tour. The tour one's a little bit more straightforward because it's basically an automation that says, "Hey, so and so happy to see that you're on the schedule. Here's some more information while we wait to meet with you. We're so excited. Whatever. Like insert whatever you want to say. We'll see you there. Here's the address. Here's the time. Pretty standard stuff." But for the brochure or the contact form, this is for those people who aren't quite ready to come out for a tour but are close. And so it shows decent intent, but it's not showing like incredible drive. Like they may not be quite ready to book their tour, and they might just need a little bit of convincing. So that's the goal, right? So everything before the tour is the goal. The goal is to get them to the tour. So what we do is we follow up. We have an automated message that goes out. For instance, when they download our brochure, it says, "Hey, here's the link to the brochure. By the way, when are you thinking about getting married?" And then they say, "Oh, we're thinking about this date and this time," or whatever. The answer is irrelevant, but we want to get them engaged with us, chatting with us, texting us, so that we could lead them to the tour. So then we take a look at the calendar. Oh, hey, yeah, it looks like we have that date available. Or, hey, it doesn't look like we have that date available, but are you open to other Saturdays during that month? Or do you care about what month that it's in? Does it have to be that date? And then they can say, "Yeah, it does. It has to be that date." "Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, if you'd still like to come out for a tour, we'd love to change your mind." Obviously that's a harder sell. Or, we could go for another Saturday during August. And then, okay, cool. Well, we have a couple of those left. Let's get you out. I do tours every day. I have some openings this week. What's your availability like for Tuesday or Friday, whatever. Like you just start communicating with them. So we have that automation set up to initiate the conversation, but then you step in and we step in and we actually will continue the conversation. So we have actually seen the rate of tours being scheduled increase when they respond to the initial automated question, and then we respond back like during that, because they're actively chatting, they're actively texting us, and so they're online, if you will. Like they are thinking about us, they are communicating with us, and they are ready to continue that conversation. And so we don't want to miss that opportunity by not being available. And so we have a rule with our managers that if somebody responds, then we need to get a response back to them within 5 minutes, provided that they're not already on a tour. Or like if it's super late at night, then obviously that makes sense that they wouldn't be responding right away. And so we just want to make sure that they're getting responded to when they start engaging with us, because otherwise we can send out a few different automated texts and none of them ever get responded to, and then that person just kind of drops off the face of the earth. But when they respond, and I've seen it where it could be like a 2-hour delay to respond back to them, and then they won't ever respond again. We've lost them. And so that's the impression, like that first impression. I talk about that a lot. So how quickly we respond to their response matters just as much as how quickly we respond from the very beginning. So I just wanted to share that as just some information, some findings that I've been seeing with our outreach campaigns, with our response times and things like that. Really, if you're taking more than 10 minutes and it's not for good cause, like obviously if you're on a tour, if you're selling, if you're doing all that, then that makes sense. Then, it is what it is. You can't quite help that. But if it's any other time that's a normal hour, then respond as quickly as you can because they're on their phone, they are texting with you, and let's get them out for a tour. And so all the communication from that point that we focus on is how to get them out to a tour. So we give them as many availability times as we can. We suggest certain days, certain times of day, and we just work with them to get them on the calendar. And then we schedule it and send out the calendar invite, and then we look forward to meeting with them. So that goes a long way. And I think that has had a huge impact on our ability to get more tours, and we've already been communicating with them a ton before that. So that can also help increase the likelihood of booking. So, anyways, I hope this was useful for you. If it was, please subscribe and stay tuned for the next one.